So let that be a lesson to you when you're going to talk about somebody behind their back. Make sure they're not behind yours. Next up, all right, the power of real-time collaborative filmmaking. Presenting are Jean-Colas Prunier, Stéphane Taeb, Yvan Remekel, Armel Bauer from PocketStudio. Jean-Colas has over 25 years of experience in the animation industry and digital special effects. Over the past 3 years, he's been working on the development of real-time software for the production of movie content. He's the founder of PocketStudio. Prior to joining PocketStudio, Stéphane worked on large C++ code bases, such as SIGGRAPH 3D Mesh Generation Package, or LumaSCAF's software suite designed for photorealistic real-time rendering of CAD data. Yvan previously worked at LumaSCAF on photorealistic real-time rendering of CAD scenes and at Imagination Technologies as an OpenGLES driver developer. His interests are real-time rendering and anything Vulkan-related. Armel received her doctorate degree in 2017. Her thesis, entitled Living Book of Anatomy, was about studying anatomy in motion in real time. Her interests are animation, virtual humans, and mixed reality technologies.
Thanks a lot, JC. Howdy, and good evening, SIGGRAPH. Less than a year ago, the four of us started to work on real-time, obviously, Vulkan-based unified workflow that allows a user with a modern and intuitive UI to actually create an entire 3D movie, animation movie from beginning to end within the same application. So this is what we call a unified workflow. But what primarily differentiates this solution from most, if not all, current DCC tools is the fact that this application, this solution, is actually built to have a real-time, so far so good, collaborative editing workflow. So not unlike Google Docs, right? So several people can actually work on the same project at the same time and see each other's changes in real time. So we call it PocketStudio because it's literally like having a studio in your pocket. And thanks to SIGGRAPH, we would like to show it to you today for the first time. The goal of the demo is to create a short movie together using 3 computers and 1 smartphone connected to an external Google server that is located in Seattle. So we work in real conditions. Even though we are the 4 of us in the same room, we would be 200 miles apart from each other. This would make actually no difference at all. We are now going to walk through what a seamless, user-friendly, real-time, collaborative, unified pipeline, I know it's a mouthful, is like. So we can log in. The first thing, so to explain you a little bit of a setup, on the left screen, in red, you will see, so each one of the big screens here will mirror one of the computers we have on the stage. So on the left, you will see the screen of Stéphane in red. In the middle, in green, you will see the screen of Yvan. And to your right, you will see in blue the screen of Armel. Sorry. So the first thing Yvan is going to do, in green, in the middle, is to create a movie project from scratch. And he will share it with Armel and Stéphane. So now they can actually work on this project together. For example, Stéphane could change the title of the movie. For example, RTL SIGGRAPH, sounds like a good name. Armel could actually drop a movie poster onto the project's card. And Yvan, in the middle, could create a 3D scene. In which Stéphane could import some geometry, and Armel could import an animated character. So as you can see, the geometry is actually not in the right position. It's intentional. We want to show you what happens when several people move geometry in the same scene at the same time. You can also see that when an object is selected, it's actually highlighted with the color of the user who selected that object. The only way you can actually keep track of who is doing what when everything is so seamless is to use that kind of color scheme. So the layout looks cool. In the next step, we're going to create cameras to create our first sequence. So to speed up the process, Armel, Stéphane, and Yvan are going to create a camera each. So they're working the same scene, and they can all at the same time create as many cameras as they want. Great. So now we have actually 3 cameras. We're good to start editing. So Ivan, in the middle, is going to start editing a sequence. And Armel and Stefan, at the same time, are going to keep working on the scene. They're going to drop materials onto the geometry, and they will also do some lighting changes. So I just want to be super clear in this part of the demo. Ivan is editing a sequence, and at the same time, Stefan and Armel, left and right screen, are actually making changes to the scene that is being used in that sequence, right? And Ivan, who is editing the sequence, can actually see the changes that are made to that scene by other people seamlessly and in real time. So right now, Ivan is finishing the cut. And as you can see, the Armel is still making some lighting changes. It looks great. So now let's say we want to add another shot to that sequence, but using a different scene. Right? So this time, Armel is going to create that scene, and she will insert it into the sequence. And so what I want you to look at is the top right corner of Ivan's screen in the middle. You will see that as soon as Armel inserts or creates the scene, it will actually show up into Ivan's sequence editor. Here you go. And and now if you look at Ivan's timeline, you will see that as soon as Armel inserts the scene into the sequence, Ivan's timeline will be updated in real time as well, instantly. So you can see in Ivan's sequence editor right now, the clip that Armel just dropped is selected is highlighted in blue as well. This is very cool. So one of the benefits of actually working with the cloud is that all the different scenes that we created for that project are now actually stored on the Seattle server, which means that we can actually access them and film them with a phone using augmented reality. So I'm going to show you an example of that. We need to switch to the phone here. PocketStudio comes with augmented reality application. I'm going to start it. The first thing it's going to do is to present me with a different list of the different scenes that we created for the scene. So I'm going to use this one. Currently, the phone is tethered, because that was the only way we could actually have the screen projected onto the theater screen. So it uploaded the data from the server. I'm going to drop the geometry on the scene. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I'm not pretending I'm Spielberg here, right? So bear with me. Now I'm ready. I'm into a ridiculous position. That's normal. So imagine now you are at the airport in Los Angeles waiting for your plane, and then the director doesn't know what to do. He can pick up his phone and start filming. All right, that looks pretty cool. I like this. So now the camera that I just recorded, we can switch to the other screens. Yeah, great. The camera I just recorded is actually stored on the Seattle server, which means that Armel and Ivan can access it straight away, right? Currently, you can see that the camera is a little bit shaky. So Armel, why don't we smooth it out? We can actually add a little bit of weight to it. We can filter it out. What I want you to see is that as soon as Armel makes a change, the camera of Ivan is actually updated. So in the middle, it's updated in real time instantly. Great, this is a great camera. So maybe, Ivan, we can go back to the sequence and then use it in the third shot. That's awesome. Okay, now another benefit of actually having an application, DCC tool running in the cloud, is that we can actually render the movie live stream, render the movie live in real time on the server, right, using the same kind of GPU we have in these machines. And we can stream it and watch the movie live on the phone. So for that, I'm just going to use a very simple live stream app on my phone. It's going to connect to the server. And here it is. I have my movie on my phone. So you can watch it from wherever you are. And remember that we're actually rendering this movie live on the server in real time, which means that we can still make changes to the film project and see the result of those changes on the phone as we speak, right? So Stefan and I are going to show you a couple of examples of that. Stefan, why don't we drop a different materials on the ground. Here it is. And I don't like this character design. Maybe we can try something else. And now in the movie, I have a different character design. So anyone who works in production knows that if you have a hero character in 1,000 shots, and then you need to change it, it's a pain. With this kind of technology, in a click, you can actually see a completely different version of your movie almost instantly. I think this is really cool. All right. So now, while Stefan and I were busy with the streaming demo, Armel and Eva kept working on the movie. So what I propose to do to conclude this demo is to watch the final results. So now our movie has 2 sequences. And great surprise, we'll show you this movie rendered using ray tracing in Vulkan with NVIDIA's RTX technology. So what you're looking at here is a movie being rendered in 2K in real time. So we are rendering ambient occlusion on one single GPU. So it's really interesting because when you have the transition, we're actually rendering 2 2K images at the same time in real time. So for us, the future of filmmaking has at least 4 components. It's about real time. It's about unified pipeline, because the unified pipeline doesn't break the creative flow. It's about being able to use consumer device to enable people who don't necessarily know how to use complex DCC tools. And it's really about collaboration. And we hope with this first public display of PocketStudio, we gave you a glimpse of the future of both production and how we will distribute and consume 3D animation content in the future. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. That seems like really powerful technology, and I love the shirts, by the way.